You're listening to Get Out and Drive podcast with John CustomCarNerd Meyer. We'll be bringing you gearheads all the information you never wanted to know about cars and why they should be on the road and not in your garage. Are you ready to get out and drive?
And we're back with another episode of the Get Out and Drive podcast. I am John CustomCarNerd Meyer. We had a bumpy ride at the end of 2021. Sean, Mr. Sedan Cheryl, he decided to get out and drive on a different road. Jason Carr filling in and being the new co-host of the Get Out and Drive podcast. Welcome, Jason.
I am Jason, OldeCarrGuy Carr. Thank you for having me. Well, thank you very much, John. I'm really happy to be a part of the podcast and having you guys invite me into your home, and to those who are watching or viewing, that inviting me into your headset so you can hear some of the comings and goings of what's going on Get Out and Drive.
Glad to have you here, and been following your channel and what you've been doing for quite a long time, and I think we will fit in well together.
I agree. I think that when we had you on our show, the Car Guy and Six Fan show, that we had a really good time. We got to know a little bit about each other, and we've also learned that we share a very common second language.
Yes,
and
very
that is
much
sarcasm. So I really appreciate. I really appreciate you speaking it fluently.
Like you care, but
Not
yeah,
at all.
I do. See, there's sarcasm already. We're just
it's
right there,
oozing
zero
out of the
to
headset already.
100, just right there. Just peg the pew, sarcastometer. Yes,
It's pegged.
It is pegged. Good gravy. We're out of St. Louis, Missouri, in the United States, and you are out of Canada.
Yes. So Canada.
Kind of explain to our listeners where you're at.
So if you're familiar with North America, we are far on the East Coast. My province, New Brunswick, borders Maine. I am in a border community. In fact, my wife is from Maine, so there's a lot of that goes on in border communities. And it's great to be able to have access to the U.S. Very easily. Of course, the last couple of years has been a little more difficult, but as a rule, pretty free flowing, and the opportunity to get to some of these great shows on both sides of the border. Mm-hmm. Is great. You know, we were able to reach out and get to a lot of places and see a lot of things.
Yeah, I think having you in Canada is going to improve our reach. I know we're listened to. We've got listeners all over the place globally. But I think having you on site in several large shows and things in Canada is going to it's going to increase our reach, and it's going to get some of the people that are in the U.S. that may not be as familiar with Canada to get more familiar with and be able to see firsthand some of the shows and what goes on up by you.
Well, and for that, I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. No, I think you're absolutely right. The fact that, we can kind of reach people a little more internationally, and me being on the East Coast, there's a lot of great events that happen on Canada's East Coast. And one of the ones that we've already hooked up with is the Atlantic Nationals happening this summer in July. And I can't wait to be a part of that. They're on board as a sponsor with Get Out and Drive, and they're going to be helping us distribute some National Get Out and Drive Day stickers. That's going to be a pretty cool event.
Yeah, I can't wait for National Get Out and Drive Day again this year in 2022. It's going to be fantastic. We've been leading up several different years and fighting back against COVID and against all the foolishness that's been going with shows getting shut down around the United States and Canada. I think people are going to be able to have a lot of fun, be able to get out and drive. And if you can't get out and drive on National Get Out and Drive Day, make sure you watch a movie, car-related movie. Show the kids what it was like to take a trip, hang out, go get ice cream, rub Hot Wheels on the floor with your kids. Just have fun.
Yeah, it's an opportunity to it's not just for car people, right? It's an opportunity for people to get together as a family, whether it be turning wrenches, getting out for a drive, like you said, just doing something together and bringing the family back together and away from the the cell phones and the computers and the games and everything that these kids have these days. Let's put that stuff down for a day. Let's get out. Let's drive. Let's enjoy life. Happens the first Sunday in October. Hope you guys can get out and enjoy that day.
Yeah. I know we talked to a lot of people that remember being in a station wagon, and I listened to a lot of different comedians, and they talk about sitting in the back seat of a station wagon, and it was a completely different vacation than everybody else. You drive along, you're like, man, I wonder what that sign says, because you don't realize everybody else is going this way, the signs are pointing this way, and then you're looking at all the silver sides of the signs. You have no idea what they say, and it's fantastic. So many people with SUVs and drop-down screens and all sorts of stuff. The kids don't have that experience as they used to, and the way SUVs and vehicles have changed and forward-facing seating and all that stuff, it'd be amazing to show kids what it was like to look out the back window of a station wagon in the third row seat and make faces at the guy behind you on the highway. That was fun.
Yeah, John, of course, I'm not as old as you are, but I mean, I can remember back being a kid, and of course, we did these long trips, and no air conditioning either.
Right.
I grew up with two older sisters, and being the youngest, guess who get to sit in the hump on the rear seat of every trip that we ever went on? Well, that was me. You couldn't fall asleep because none of the girls wanted you leaning on them if you fell over, so, and you did it, you were hot, mm-hmm. you were sticky. Mm-hmm. By the time you got somewhere, everybody was so grumpy, but guess what? Those are the memories that we have. And that's the memories that we want you guys to have on, celebrating National Get Out and Drive. Correction. International.
Oh, yeah, for this year.
Get Out and Drive Day.
Yeah, we are rebranding slightly. But yes, International Get Out and Drive Day, which is fantastic. We'll have to mess with the logo a little bit. But
yeah, I think we're going to have a little bit of fun with that. And I think the fact that we can reach, both sides of, of the border, Canada and the US and the rest of the world, like, guys, just because we're in Canada and we have a 5-month winter doesn't mean we don't get out and drive when we can. We have fun. So October, there's still no snow on the ground most of the time. Mm-hmm. So we do get out and drive. We still have lots to see and do, and nothing says, folks, that you got to travel 500 miles to get out and drive. If that's your choice, check your own backyard, drive down the main strip, hit the ice cream shop, do what you can. Yep.
It's fantastic. Shifting gears the tiniest bit, what do you think about C10 prices?
I'm thinking very heavily about selling mine, I can tell you that.
Yeah, and retiring. Holy cow. I thought I had seen everything, and then I watched, I think it's on Instagram. Yeah, forgive me if I butcher his name, but I think it's C10 King. And he has a true turquoise short bed buddy bucket 327 automatic panoramic rear window 67, so it's a big window 67,
big window
patina. I think I've added all of the keyword spamming that I can possibly. He has it listed for $57,000. I don't know if you got to see that. Did you see that? I don't remember if I sent it to you or not.
No, you haven't sent it to me. I'm going to have to go look for it, but I don't doubt for a second. We were having this conversation today at work, and I've got a 77 C10. My truck is an all original paint, 80,000 original miles. And in November of 2019, I bought this truck for $2,500. It ran, it drove, it stopped. Typical 350s fashion. It was leaking out of every orifice, but mm-hmm. Hey, I could have driven that thing home from New York. I didn't. I trailered it home. Mm-hmm. I've done lots of work on this thing, and you can check out my YouTube channel. I've documented the whole thing, and it has a lot of work done. I converted it to a fuel injection. I've lowered it. I've put some wheels on it. Just upgraded the interior, stuff like that. I think, with no joke, I could slap $25,000 on that US, and not bat an eyelash, I'd probably have it sold in the snap of a finger.
Yes, amazing.
The problem is, if I wanted to go buy that same run and drive and truck that I bought 2 years ago, I'm going to pay $7,000 to $9,000 for it.
Yep.
To replace it
As a starting
start
point.
the process all exactly.
It's just absolutely amazing. And I think I saw the other day somebody had a cab, just a cab, bare naked cab of a 68 C10. I think it was $2,800. And my whole body went, oh, I think that comma's in the wrong spot. Oh, and then I didn't know what to say, but I know Mama told me, can't say nothing nice. Don't say nothing at all. I'm one of the people on the interwebs, not like everybody else. I scroll. In case you're out there listening, don't fight with everyone. Just keep going. Scroll. Don't like the price of that? Scroll. Also, don't shop at the Cadillac dealer if you have Kia money.
Well, and that's the world that we've grown up in today. You know, a fellow, an honest guy can't go and post an ad on Marketplace or wherever he's going to post an ad and just deliver what he's selling. You've got to have the guys that want to tear apart the fact that it's not correct. They want to tear apart the fact that there's a blemish in the paint or that there's a crack in the bumper or that there's this or there's that. It's like, whoa. I'm putting this up for you to sell or for me to sell. If you don't want to buy it,
move on.
Keep trucking.
Yeah, very much so. Trucking. Move on. I'm not forcing you to buy anything. I'm also not forcing you to stop scrolling.
Yeah.
Scroll on.
I do have the power to delete your comments and move you myself.
Yeah. Oh, yes, exactly. My block hand is strong. I mean, you're doing pretty good. I think my Instagram, my personal custom car nerd is like 30,000 something. The other day I looked at my block list and it was at 12,000 people or something ridiculous that I said later. Of course, every now and then I have to try and break the internet, like when I put up that picture that said long beds are just parts trucks for short beds, changed my mind. I mean, that was just floop, clink, and threw out a grenade.
So for those of you who are listening to this now, just know my blood pressure just went up about 10 points.
Oh, that's what that sound is.
My square body is a long bed. And I resemble that remark.
You do. I'm sorry. Did you lose a bet or something? You had to have that truck? Are you just too poor to shorten it? You're too poor to...
John?
Yeah, you're too poor to own a short bed. I understand. It's fine.
So, some of us actually went out looking for a long bed.
Wow.
And I'll tell you what. No, seriously though, all serious. I went looking for a long bed simply because, yes, I didn't want to pay $5,000 for that same truck and a short bed. Right. I got the deal of a century buying the long bed. Was I ever looking at possibly doing the short bed conversion? Well, who doesn't? At some point, yeah, the short beds are cool. But when you've got an original paint and a truck that was in as good a condition as mine was, I didn't want to hack it up.
Sure.
I chose not to at that point. But again, yeah, I get what you're saying. You can create controversy. You can get people talking. And of course, I'm just messing around here. But yeah, the idea is that there's purpose-driven posts.
Yep.
And, we do that for a reason. We want to get you guys talking. We want to hear what you have to say because sometimes topics of conversation or great topics of a podcast come directly from a post like that.
Oh, very much so. Very much so. And it swung a bat at a bee's nest.
Well, let me let you know a little secret here too. It's not just C10s.
That's true.
Right. Your Mustang guys, your Camaro guys, your Firebird guys, Corvettes, all these guys are dealing with the exact same thing. And you'll get to know a little bit about me as time goes on. I'm a used car dealer. I own my own business and we're dealing with it in modern day cars. A car that I would have sold 2 years ago for 10 grand. I'm selling that exact same car today for 10 grand. It's now 2 years older. And it's got more mileage because it's 2 years older. And I'm still selling it for the price from 2 years ago. So it doesn't matter. You want to buy a pickup truck today? Oof, good luck with that. The price on pickups are just through the roof. And it used to be years ago that the Jeep Wrangler was the number one reselling vehicle ever. They held the resale value, whether you liked them or you didn't. And that was just that. Today, everything has a higher resale, 30%. The black books, the green books, the blue books, they're just trying to keep up with everything. NADA doesn't know what the heck is going on. And, you know, the people who are lending money to borrow these cars, whether it's an antique or not, don't know what to do because the market could fall out tomorrow. And if you bought them all at a higher price, you're screwed. You're sitting on a lot full of duds because you'll lose your shirt on every single one of them.
That is exactly correct. I can't even believe that. So another topic that's in my head. I'm as a lot of our listeners know, I'm a 30-year veteran paint and body man. I built a lot of China plate cars. I build everything that's pretty all day long. Patina on a vehicle. Let's narrow it down to trucks. So when is patina stop being cool and suddenly become a crappy looking vehicle? Does it stop in 87 with squares? Okay, 91 if you want to be technical with Suburbans. Is a crappy painted, a patina painted with the paint falling off it? Is a CK cool with patina paint? Or is it just become a vehicle with poor paint job? What's your view?
That question really is so multifaceted because you can't step up and say, okay, I'm going to go look at a first gen Dodge, and just because the clear coat's painting peeling off from the factory that it looks like it's a patina. No, that's just a crappy paint job. But if you get one of these trucks that all the clear coat has been peeled off of it, and then it's been sitting in a field somewhere for 15 years and the sun has baked into that and you got some natural rust going on, yeah, that's patina.
Okay.
And that's okay. Where does it stop? I don't think you can put a year limitation on it. There's some 05 and 6 Ford Dodge Chevy trucks out there that look worse than something that's been sitting in a field for 50 years. I don't think you can put a limit on patina. Does it look cooler on older stuff? Sure it does. Right? And We're just getting into that stage where our kids are looking at OBS or CK trucks and thinking, oh, those are antiques. They're cool. To you and I, they're just the first generation of crap fuel injection junk that went out the door from the big manufacturers. You know, and we look back at the square bodies, the dent sides and the old first gen Dodges, and we're looking at those going, wow, you know, those are a nice looking truck. Everybody is to each their own. I can't say there's a year limit on patina and what it looks good on. I don't think I could put a time on that.
Okay. Patina Fox body Mustang. You think that'll ever happen? Boy, I'm hitting all the points. I gotta ask. Nobody's talking about this stuff.
No, you know, and Fox body Mustangs is a huge demographic of people. There's people out there who never were Fox body people who are now. They're crossing lines with LS swaps and turbos.
And diesels.
They're jacking these and diesels. Yeah, I mean they're jacking these things up. Patina on a Fox body. Oh, their paint was crap from the factory, so they're bound to patina over time. I would say.
This is John with the hard-hitting questions. If our listeners are out there listening to that, certainly hit us on social media and let us know what you think. Patina, what year does it stop? Does it stop being cool? Let us know, see what's happening. Give us your opinions. Jason's been really cool talking with you today and bringing you on to the Get Out and Drive podcast. Man, can't wait to see who we talk to in 2022.
Well, I'm really looking forward to it. And if the conversations get this nitty and gritty throughout 2022, well, boys, we've got our work cut out for us.
Definitely. Make sure you check out our website, getoutanddrive.com, for everything you never wanted to know about our podcast.
What?